Hello everyone, I'm Arias with the Our Town Media Department, and I'm here with Dr. Penelope Martin Knox, the Superintendent of the Raytown School District.
Thank you for having me here.
What does being the first lady to be elected as Superintendent of the Raytown District mean for the future of Raytown to you?
I believe what it means to me moving forward, even though I am the first female, I shouldn't be the last. And so setting the stage to make sure that we are creating a pathway for all young ladies to aspire to be leaders, not just in the field of education, but in our nation. I believe that when we put our mind to it, we can achieve it with focus, dedication, and trustworthiness, if you will, allows you to be successful in the work, but aspire high. I believe that taking on this work as superintendent, being the first female did not come to mind, but instead it was about what I can do for children. And so taking on that task, if you will, has led me to lead with heart, because the work of being an educator and a leader, it's hard work and hard work all combined. So I think that being resilient, it allows me to model for others to then pursue leadership and to set that pathway for others to follow.
Perfect. And how do you want your role as a woman to impact young ladies in the district K through 12?
I think that being professional, being poised, being a role model, acting with authenticity, acting with integrity, with honesty, and making sure that there's an established trustworthiness there so that we can communicate and collaborate and continue to grow together. I believe that there is oftentimes people look at leadership as a hierarchy, and I believe it as a collaborative approach when we're doing what's best for children and for each other. So it's not an independent work, it's a collaborative approach to make sure we're doing what's best for our school district and for our children.
And what was your dream career growing up?
So I had a couple. My first dream career was a pediatrician. I actually thought I was going to be a pediatrician probably from the young age of 7 or 8, and I believed that all the way until I graduated from high school. I actually attended what we call a magnet school in Maryland. I attended a magnet school for medicine. I worked in a hospital as an intern. I worked in the hospital during the summer in the emergency room, and at some point it clicked. This isn't what I want to do. But deep down inside, I believe I was always supposed to be a teacher. At the end of the school year, I would collect all of the teacher supplies, and I would go home and we would set up shop on my steps, and we read and we wrote, and then we would go play basketball and football. And my friends knew that we weren't going to play until we did work. Go figure. So we would do the work, and they complied, and they still remember till this day that we focused and had an emphasis on education. My grandmother continued to instill in me, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a doctor. And then that summer, after I graduated, I worked in the hospital, and I said this wasn't for me. I knew I wanted to invest in children. I just didn't know how. So the pathway shifted from being a physician of children to being an educator with children. And so I shifted that thinking in the summer. And I wanted to make sure that I could give back to children what had been given to me, because I had amazing teachers.
Nice. And who do you feel like, what teacher do you feel in your youth impacted you the most, if you want to just give them a little shout out?
I have a few.
Yeah.
So in elementary school, there was Miss Eva Wilson. I went home every day and I walked like Miss Wilson. I talked like Miss Wilson. I practiced in the mirror to be like Miss Wilson. I thought that when she walked into the room, the lights lit up and there was all this facade of this like just gracious woman who just came into the building. So that was elementary school. In middle school, it's Alvin Wallace. He passed away actually yesterday, would have been 12 years. He was my first music teacher who instilled in me never give up. I have a whole story about what happened when I began to play clarinet, but I'll save that for another time. But he really invested and poured in, and it didn't stop at middle school. He followed me to high school as well. And so then I had my high school music teachers, but then it continued in college. Mr. Melvin Miles, who was my college band director, he is my role model, my mentor, and so all of these individuals poured into me academically and gave me this sense of you can do it, this sense of empowerment. And I think that goes back to your original question. There has always been this piece of empowerment that existed with me, that if I can do it, so can you. And I was always convincing others to come along and to do what's best and what's right. And so I think those were the ones who come to mind at this time, but I've had so many more. Like, they all follow me on social media too. So when I post, they remember, I remember when you were in school, and I'm holding my breath like, was it good? I know it was good. But you know, it's just nice to have your teachers now compliment you on the work that you're doing and to tell you how proud they are of you. So I think Miss Wilson, Mr. Wallace, Mr. Miles, or Dr. Miles now. And then I had another person who's technically, she was my first principal, who told me I was a leader, and that's Karen Barnes. So I have a lot of folks who've been in my journey.
Yeah, awesome. And what is your advice for a young lady who strives to be in a leadership position such as yourself?
Work hard. Work hard and work hard. And I believe that going along that route of working hard, I believe that always respect yourself, have confidence in yourself, know that you can, believe that you can, and do it. Don't just sit back and say you can and you will. I need you to execute. It's one thing to say, it's another thing to do. And so I just believe in working hard, making sure that you let nothing get in your way. And along the lines in life, we're going to trip and fall somewhere, but it's how you get back up. So having that sense of resiliency, because there are going to be challenging times, but how you respond to that is what determines your future and your destiny. So I would encourage all young ladies to just continue to move forward, to believe you can, and to execute.
Absolutely. And do you feel that being a woman has impacted your hiring process? And if so, how would you say?
I always believe that you have to be your absolute best. And so I usually don't look at the circumstances around me. It's about coming in and doing your best and being your best. And then sometimes I look back and say, you know, you were the only woman who just did this. And I think that has always been a space that I've lived in. When I went to college, I was the only female music major. So that was the first encounter I had with being that one person, that outlier, if you will. In jazz band, I was the only female. And so there were a lot of brothers around me, and I was the little sister they were glad they never had. And so I think that as we go through life, you sit back and you reflect on your past to say, you do know you broke barriers. Because I step into the work to be my best, to do my best, to give my best, so that you all can be your best. I really don't look at those circumstances until afterwards in terms of the reflection. And then you can say, because when I interviewed for this position, I didn't know I was going to be the first female. And this isn't the first position that I've held where I've been the first to shatter those glass ceilings. It's just always being your best.
That's amazing. And we know that you played clarinet and band in high school. Were there any other extracurriculars that you participated in that you feel like helped with your leadership skills?
So I was very athletic outside of school, but music was my all. I did not give up music for anything. I had offers and opportunities to run track. I believed that marching band was a sport, so I believed that I participated in athletics. But I was just focused on my clarinet and my music. It was my passion. It was my go-to. It was my place to go to even when I was having a good day or a bad day. And I still play. It's just what I did. I believe that my second passion was reading, just always being informed, always being aware of what's happening around me. And then I have some other passions and things that I like to do, like shop for perfume and shoes.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Right, yeah. All right. And what's your best advice for dealing with the haters?
You know, you're always going to have those who are or are not going to be in support of you. I believe you don't let it get in the way. Sometimes people don't like in you what they can't see in themselves, or what they want to do and what they want to be. I believe that you just continue to move forward, and you have to block out the noise. There are reasons for people being haters, as we all would call them, but you can't sit down and worry about why. My grandma always taught me that if you're doing right by people, doing right to people, and treating people right, you go to bed at night and you sleep well. If you're not intentionally going out to harm people, you have nothing to worry. But I always reflect back on interactions just to make sure I didn't do something unintentionally to harm folks, but I just close my ears to the noise and continue to move forward. I'm very reflective, but I always have somebody that I can go to and say, tell me about that. What did you see in my interaction? It's somebody that I can trust and someone who's going to tell me what may not feel good, but something that may also feel good. So you always have to have someone in your corner to say, you could have done that better. And believe them when they say it, not someone who's just going to give you advice or to give you feedback that could make it even worse. But in terms of the haters, you just continue to move forward and persevere, and knowing that you're doing what's best and what's right.
Yeah, that's very powerful, and I know for high schoolers it can be kind of difficult to kind of block out that extra noise whenever you're around so many different energies and vibes. What do you feel like got you to that level of peace?
I think it's always been just being me.
Yeah.
Through middle school, through high school, all of my friends, if you want to call them, I actually call them associates, because my only friend was my grandmother. But I call them associates, and my circles have been large, but not large. There's always been a small pocket of people who've been in my life since elementary school that I still deal with today. And I think that even going through high school, much of what you all deal with, I dealt with too. Just not on the level that you do with social media and all those other factors. But again, when I went to high school, and I think it didn't hurt that I lived in a different neighborhood than I told you I went to a magnet school. When I went to the high school I attended, I was the only one who lived on that part of town where I resided. And so I didn't have to appease anyone, and I wouldn't have. And I'll just give a quick story, and I hope I have time for it. But I don't know if you all know who Cyndi Lauper is. If you don't know, look her up. I wanted to be Cyndi Lauper. I wore the tie-dyed clothes, the pink Converses with any color that you could possibly imagine. And my grandmother used to say, that doesn't match, but it matches to me, right? And so I have always been an individual. I've always been unique in my own space and place. And so I will say that the challenges will be there, but just as long as you're confident in who you are and what it is that you're doing, you just have to continue to put your best foot forward and keep moving forward. So I think that going through life, again, reflecting on yesteryear and learning from those moments, not looking back, because if you continue to look back, you might trip and fall, but just learn from your past actions and behaviors and build upon them and grow.
Beautiful. And lastly, what do you feel the biggest difference between back whenever you lived in Baltimore versus living in Raytown is?
I'm a recluse. All right, so we can go into, I just had this conversation with someone the other day. You have your introvert, you have your extrovert, and you have your ambivert, right? I think I'm in the middle. I am only an extrovert when I'm in my comfort space, in the space of music or in the space of education. But when I'm home, I'm an introvert. And so I don't see a big difference because I'm not out and about. When I'm not at work, I'm shopping. If I'm not shopping, I'm at the games, I'm at the plays, but most of the time I'm home. So I don't believe there's a big difference between Baltimore and Raytown, other than the fact my family is not here. But you know, we have FaceTime, we have telephones, and again, being that introvert, I'll go in the house and won't talk to anyone at all until it's time to come back out the next day. So I think I've always been to myself, and being raised as an only child as well has kind of helped me in this space, because it's always just been me and my grandmother, and it was me and my clarinet, my books, and my grandma.
Perfect. Well, thank you for joining us today and being an amazing role model for all the young ladies in Raytown.
Well, thank you so much. That means a lot.
Of course.
And if there's anything you all need from me, I'm here for you.
Perfect. Thank you.